Bro, how do you function during the day? I need whatever you're taking. I am drinking some fucking lemon water right now. And tomorrow morning when I wake up, I will eat 3 eggs, fried, over easy. And then for dinner, I will have probably some... I made like fajita chicken, so I'll probably have that, and then some fucking quinoa shit, and that'll be it. You know? It's a very simple life. But yeah, I don't know, man. I've always functioned with very little sleep. Say Brand with the 2 gender reveal party. Congrats. It's a forest fire. Let's fucking go. The flames got so hot they turned blue. It's a boy.
What's up, gamers? Dreamcast Guy here, and this is my honest review for Stray on the PlayStation 5. Now, please, if you could, give this video a like. If this video happens to hit 3,000 likes, I'll probably give a couple copies of
Did it? Oh shit, he's gonna give them away.
Stray away on my Twitter account. But now, let's dissect this game in 3 separate chunks. Let's talk about the gameplay, the world, and finally,
Brit with the 2, but yes, cats greater than dogs. That is to be expected from the average Taylor Swift fan. I'm sorry, Brit, but you fall into the stereotype perfectly.
let's talk about the story itself in a spoiler-free style. Now, starting off, let's talk about how Stray plays. Now, this game does exist on the PS4, the PS5, and PC. I played it specifically on the PlayStation 5 because there is a lot of haptic figure stuff that's going on with these triggers. The way the game generally works is, of course, we are a cute little kitty cat. He doesn't have a name. I don't even know if it's a he or a she, but you're trying to go through these puzzle...
What if it's not a he or a she, Dreamcast Guy? What if it's a she or a they or a zer or whatever the... Bold of you to assume.
Like environments. While you're exploring, you need to try and find a way to constantly progress. You've fallen into this place called the Sealed City, and as the name suggests, it's completely sealed off. In order to escape, you need to get past a series of barriers, get help from the friendly robots in town, and find a way to constantly find another way up into the layers of town until eventually you go out the top. Now, the way this game technically works is that it almost feels like a point-and-click adventure mixed with a platformer. Whenever you're going around, you're able to jump on surfaces.
This just does not look fun to me, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing out, but this is not my type of game.
You're able to knock stuff off with your little kitten claws. There's a lot of things that are very cat-like inside of this. In fact, in each of the chapters of the game, there's little locations where you can take cat naps, sometimes even on these robotic people who are surprisingly kind.
Robotic.
About it. You can also do things like sharpen your claws on rugs or even on couches. You can do things like play with balls of string or...
Who the fuck is this for?
Get your head stuck in a paper bag. Now, the reason specifically this is extra impactful on the PlayStation 5 is because while you're touching different surfaces, the triggers to the PlayStation 5 react differently to sort of simulate the way your claws actually feel. I also really appreciate that whenever he's purring, the controller vibrates in the most realistic way, like it straight up feels like a cat purring. You can also meow to your fellow kitties whenever you see them by pressing circle, and it meows very adorably through this little PlayStation speaker as well. But what's the point? Why is it that we're being this little cute kitty cat? So we've fallen into this town and we're trying to escape, but doing this is more of just about trying to solve a series of big riddles. While you're going through this, you discover that some of these robots have in the past attempted to escape as well. It's not like they're dying, it's just the fact that they're curious about the outside surface as much as you are curious about returning to it. So during this, you get a chance to talk and communicate with a lot of...
Yo, is this like Portal? No, I'm just kidding, but it sounds like it.
These different citizens. Now you
No, it doesn't sound like you can touch grass. I think that's maybe the end goal. Possibly?
can't speak directly. Instead, you have this little helper bot you team up with named B12. You know, vitamin B12, which gives you energy. The B12 robot is able to translate the speech of these different robots, or any of the messages you find, like safe combinations or different graffiti that may spell out different locations. This is the major part of the game that feels so focused in its puzzling efforts. While you're teamed up with B12, he can digitize specific items. So if you see like a trucker hat that you need to try and give to somebody else to bribe them, or you're trying to get some big computer wiring to fix something, you can digitize stuff and put it in your inventory, which this is where it sort of feels like a point and click adventure. A lot of people just want a specific item, whether it is laundry detergent or a nice little treasure trove.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is not for me. Not for me in the slightest.
Giving it to them, they give you the additional information or unlock a door that lets you progress to the next
so
major chapter.
boring.
Now this sounds very straightforward, but that's kind of what I like about it, because this brings me to the other aspect of this, which is the world of Stray. This entire game takes place inside this large cylindrical city, but what I really enjoyed is that each part of this, each chapter, almost has a different vibe of sadness to it. There's this very beautiful melancholy
Yeah, cat owners and sadness go together quite a bit.
that's established in these different robots. Like, there's this weird imitation. They've already mentioned in a bunch of the trailers and stuff that this is in fact post-apocalyptic. There are no humans left. And for some reason, these robots love to roleplay as the
Oh shit, I thought the robot was gonna grab him by the pussy, but no, I guess not.
humans that seemingly used to live inside this town. They'll do things like they'll light scented candles that they admit that they can't smell. They'll do things like try and get jobs, even though they confess that there is no currency. They're just doing it because they assume this is what being alive is about.
Yo, is that fucking robot default dancing?
They're just
Watch, right here.
doing it because they assume this is what being alive is about. They
Jesus Christ.
even do things like maybe creating a police system that seems to capture and kill robots, despite the fact that these robots can't even break the law. It creates this incredibly
Oh my god, dude, police brutality exists among robots too. Is this a narrative about modern society that we're so just ingrained in our societal roles that we don't even question it and just do them without ever questioning the status quo? Is that the deep theme that this game is trying to tell, that, you know, robots could easily replace humanity because in reality we're robots and slaves to our own society? Like, is that... Bro, I have a feeling that's the fucking theme they're going for with this fucking game. I can already tell. Griffin XC with a 729. We had Mailman Walking Simulator, and now Cat Sim. That's right. 100%.
sad and yet very, very deep message about the fact that sometimes it's not about participating in society. Sometimes escape or making your own life truly is the best option. I love the writing in this game. Without spoiling anything, so many of these parties, so many of these people we get to help, especially in the side quests, are incredibly moving. So in each of the major chapters, there are these different quest hubs where you can technically just rush through them. You can just find the next major objective and escape to the next layer. But if you choose to stick around, there are different musical collectibles, like finding mixtapes, finding sheet music, and each...
Mixtapes. Oh shit, bruh. We're about to get some fucking heat. And Mr. Ang with the 2, a friend told me this is 10 out of 10, and I'm like, yeah. I don't fucking know, man. Lost on me, personally.
Each of these, while not completely mandatory, I think add to this world. There's also these hidden, unlockable extra memories. Certain things you find that can usually be out of the way, if scanned by B12, unlock more of its memories and give you a chance to see more about what's going on in this world and what's going on in the city, maybe before the apocalypse. Now, before I talk about the story itself in more general terms, I just want to quickly say my 2 major gripes about this game, because there are just 2 things that I feel like did not quite land. The first thing is, I wish that there was a bit more active gameplay in this. There is a tiny bit of combat for 1 chapter of this game. You get like this laser light that lets you melt these bad guys. These guys exist in a couple different chapters. They're called the Zerks. They're cannibalistic creatures that will consume anything, organic or inorganic. They'll eat robots, they'll eat people, they'll eat wires, and they really want to eat your delicious pussy. Now,
Ooh. You and me both.
The problem is that these things are not only incredibly tough not to get eaten by, but I like that for this one chapter, when we get this UV light, we can melt them. I wish that we had that for the entire game. Not just because it would be nice to fight back, but additionally, I think that this combat, as basic as it is, was incredibly fun to do. I liked this little bit of fighting we got, and the fact that it only exists in these couple little segments, it felt like it would have been better stretched into the entire game. And that brings me to my other tiny gripe, which is that this game is really short. Now, when I talked to the developers, they told me it would take like about 8 to 10 hours to fully finish this game. I beat this game in 5 hours, and I feel like I got pretty dang lost a couple times. This is a puzzle game. There's not really any hint system. Obviously, I'm beating this before it came out, so I couldn't Google any puzzle solutions. It took me 5 hours to beat this game, and I found a lot of collectibles. There's even a trophy for beating this game in under 2 hours, and I feel like a lot of people are going to be able to do that. But finally, let's finish off by talking a bit about the story itself, just in the loosest.
So the developers wanted him to waste 8 to 10 hours in the game just to say it's 8 to 10 hours, and then they literally encourage you to beat it in 2. Jesus Christ.
Terminology. I really appreciate what they're trying to do with Stray because it feels like a very focused indie experience. I do feel like 95% of the people that are going to purchase this are getting it because there's a cute kitty on the box and they want to play with a ball of yarn, which does exist in this. This is a good package if you do just want a cute cat simulator. But I like that this is one of those games where it feels like it rewards you for paying attention, listening to the tone of a lot of these creatures, which they all speak in this little like robot speak. It's not in English, but you can still kind of convey what's really going on. This sadness, this bleakness, there's this true tapestry, this mosaic that's being built throughout the game that really just grows and grows and grows. By the end of it, I will admit, the ending of this game, I had tears in my eyes. It is that freaking perfect.
Oh, perfect.
I really like what they're trying to do with this, and honestly, I'll straight up say it, I want a Stray 2 already. I'm not sure if they're planning on that or if they're gonna, hopefully this game is a huge success.